In this video is a continuation of the jQuery setup video that I started. And what I did in the previous videos, I went through this material and I got down to test, and I completed this here. And I did not go to exercise 1, I did not do exercise 2, and we did not deploy the application. So in this video I'm going to do these two exercises and do the deployment as well. So let's get back into the application. Here's the not the workspace. Go into the Eclipse folder and get that started. One thing we forgot to do last time, we forgot to set the compiler compliance level to 1.6. So that is a mistake that was not did not show up with a runtime error. So that's actually I think what I'm going to do is leave that off temporarily, and I want to see what kind of errors we get from that and how we can recover from it. And just to review that quickly, if I look at the properties of the jQuery project and under Google, and I think it's App Engine here. Oh look, use the default SDK App Engine. No, that's not it. Where would it be? Maybe it's in Java compiler. Is it building? Yeah, right here. Nope, that's not it either. Oh, here it is. Yeah, see the JDK compliance. So the level here is 1.7. So it's assuming that the application will run in a Java virtual machine that supports version 1.7 of the Java specification. And that version is not supported by the Google App Engine. However, we haven't gotten a runtime error on that yet. So I'm going to leave that off, and let's try to get an error, and then come in and see that gets fixed. All right. So here's exercise 1. Basically, we want to replace the load. Oh, actually, I didn't finish this. This is the issue here is this load method here. That this results in a HTTP GET request to retrieve this web resource and then paste it into the contents of that HTML element. And this GET request is cached by Internet Explorer by default with the default settings, and I want to demonstrate that. So let's go ahead and start this up here. I'm going to debug as and web application. Let's just watch the console. Should switch over to the console, but there it goes. Look for error messages there. It looks good. So now let's test that the application is running. So we go to that URL. We click on Get the Message. It says Hello World, and we go in here and change the message so that it says, say, Hello World 2. And then restart the server, terminate and relaunch. We should see the change come through. Just wait a moment. Oh, I think that's ready. And now when I click Get Message, it says Hello World 2. Now let's try that in Internet Explorer. Although it's always a good idea to have these the JavaScript console open, or these web development tools open. And there's the console, or you can have any of these open. Let's paste this in here, URL. This should say Hello World 2. Hello World 2. And if we go back and modify the servlet again and make it just Hello World, let's change it back. And restart, terminate, and relaunch. Looks good. And if we go to Chrome, I click Get Message, it'll give me the new Hello World. See, when I click on that, it goes to the web server. It submits the Ajax request, gets the new response. But in Internet Explorer, nothing is happening. It keeps the old response. And the issue there is that Internet Explorer is caching the results of the HTTP GET request that the JavaScript sent to the server. And for subsequent requests in the JavaScript for that web resource, Internet Explorer is simply producing what is in its cache. So the solution to this problem is not to rely on the user to change their caching settings, but to convert from an HTTP GET request to an HTTP POST request. All right, so just check to make sure that's on. Let's fix this problem. So basically, we're sending a request to a GET request. Let's change this to a do post. Of course, this will result in an error. Oops. Code changes cannot be hot swapped into a running virtual machine. So let's go ahead and terminate that. I don't know why that didn't work. Okay, so I'm going to relaunch this. Now this will fail because we're not implementing do get, we're implementing do post. If you look here, this load method issues a do get. Basically, we're going to issue a do get for this resource that no longer exists. Let's see what happens. Just to show you what's going on. Let's just directly request that resource in the browser. You'll see, look at this, get HTTP method get is not supported by this URL. And if we submit here, look at this, we don't see anything, it just quietly fails. And what we should be doing actually is displaying the JavaScript console and to see that we're getting these error messages here. In exercise 2, we'll add some error catching code to our JavaScript. Right, so this load needs to be replaced. I'm going to take that out. And in its place, we're going to use a lower level function as part of the Ajax API. It's the jQuery API. It's just called Ajax. And let's go ahead and paste that in there. There it is. Need to fix the indentation. And so let's just check what's going on here. This is the request URL. Now look, we added this line. This is to submit by post. Oh, by the way, this is the low-level equivalent of what we were accomplishing with that load method, except for the use of post here. The load method uses a get request. So really the load method is not good to use with web resources that whose contents are changing because of this issue with caching of the request. So here what we do is, remember, this $sign is an object. It's the jQuery object. So that once again, this is the same as typing in jQuery, jQuery.ajax. So the jQuery object has an Ajax function on it, has a function, the member function called Ajax, and this is what carries out the Ajax request. Let's set this back to its abbreviated form. That's what you would normally see. Now this Ajax function is overloaded. It takes different arguments, but one possible set of arguments is simply an object. And here is the object, and here's the end of this jQuery request. So actually, I see there's a mistake here. This is not correct, and I see that's why the indentation was wrong. Because see, this is a callback function here. This function, its definition starts here and ends there. So this function, and then this parenthesis here is closed off with this parenthesis here, and in that block of code is a JavaScript object, and that JavaScript object is being passed into this Ajax method. And just to make that clear, I want to show that to you, so that you can maybe better, in case you're not used to using JavaScript. I want you to be able to visualize the meaning of that expression better. So here is basically what we're doing is creating an object. Let's call it it's our argument. It's our Ajax function argument. So we call it like that. And this is how you do it. So it's basically equal to a method. Sorry, it's equal to a collection of name value pairs. And we need to terminate that. So we're defining an object called Ajax function argument, and we're passing that object into the Ajax function of the jQuery object, and that's what executes the interaction with the web server. Now this is one way of creating an object, by the way. Basically, you start with an open brace and end with a closing brace, and in here you have a comma delimited list of name value pairs. So here's the commas, and this is a whole object in itself. So what the name value pairs are, this becomes the member variable of the object that you're defining. So that means if you do Ajax function argument .url, you would in fact get the string jQuery. Right, so this is the member variable, and this is the value that member variable is assigned to. And here's another member variable called data type that's being assigned the string text. The third member variable that we're specifying here is called type, and that's the request type, the HTTP request type. We're assigning to it the string post. So this tells the Ajax function, jQuery's Ajax function, to submit this request using HTTP post rather than get, and that will end up getting routed to this doPost method rather than to the doGet method that we previously had. Now the fourth and final argument, or not argument, but the fourth and final name value pair in our object definition is an assignment to this member variable called success, assigning to the success member variable a callback function. And this is an anonymous function, doesn't have a name. It's just defined in line like this where we use it. Now that function takes a variable, which we call data, and when we get that, so and basically what will happen here, well, this function takes a variable data and then it executes a single statement here. And what happens here is we're registering a callback function with Ajax, with this invocation of Ajax here. So when we call this Ajax function here, we end up submitting a request for this web resource called jQuery, and then the system it doesn't block and wait for a response to come in. It just returns. So this is a non-blocking call. It sends out the request to the web server and then says, that's all I want to do. But when the request comes in, then invoke this callback function that's associated with success. That's assuming the response is a successful response. If it's an error response, the callback function won't be invoked. So that basically we're converting our request from a get to a post. So let's see how that works. Let's see if it works actually. Now, we didn't make any changes to the servlet. We only made changes to the JavaScript, so we don't need to restart the web application. We'll just go back here and reload. And let's see now when we submit the request by clicking on the button, we shouldn't get an error message. And in fact, there's no error message, and we get the behavior that we need. Come here to Internet Explorer. It's still retrieving from its cache. And oh, we need to reload the web page. There we go. We reload the web page. Now it'll submit the post request because we modified the JavaScript. Let's take a look at that really quickly to see that that's the case. Here is the script, and it doesn't show it very easily in this interface, does it? But this is the let's see how we can better see that. I just have to view source. So here is in fact the new work that we have. So this will hopefully work correctly. So get the message hello world. They're both working. Now let's try that experiment again where we change the message that's coming through. Let's make it hello world, so 3 this time. And let's restart the application, terminate and relaunch. And we'll resubmit the request in the Chrome web browser. Hello world, nothing comes through. Oh, maybe this is, let me try that one more time. So what is going on there? Did I do something wrong? This is hello world 3. Alright, let's continue on with this. This is, so it should say hello world 3. I don't know what's going on here. Let me check the, I'll do it like this. View the page source. So these are the new changes. This looks good. And why does that, if I click on get message, it continues to say hello world. So I don't know what's going on. Gonna have to figure this out. and see what is the issue here. So once again, if I view the page source, I see that when this success function comes in, we set the retrieve data here, and that should overwrite what we currently have. So that doesn't seem to be done. Let's look for error messages. Nothing there. Let's see if we ask for jQuery. Oh, something is wrong. Somehow it's not reaching the web server. I don't know what the issue is. This let's go back to here. There is a problem there, so it doesn't look like the web server is running. Let's terminate here, and then we clear that and relaunch. Click that, hello world 3, get message, hello world 3. Come back to here, modify this to regular hello world. Terminate and relaunch. And here's Chrome, get message. Should say hello world, but does not. What is going on? If I do jQuery, I don't know what's going on here. Why is this application not running again? So when I did the terminate and relaunch, something happened, and did not seem to work correctly. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, here. Wonder what's going on with that. Let me terminate and relaunch again. All right, there's the hello world. Hello world. Anyway, we can see that Internet Explorer is no longer caching the result, because we're not using HTTP GET, we're using HTTP POST. Let's go ahead and do the next exercise, which is to add this error handling code. Before we do that, well, we've already illustrated this, but I'll do that again. And that is, if we submit a bad request, here I'm going to submit to jQuery 2, so this doesn't exist, this URL doesn't exist. What happens when we submit a request for that? Oh, we need to reload. You'll see that we get our error message down here, but nothing appears up here. So, I mean, it's okay for testing, but what we can do is to add another callback function. And, oops, it's not, we don't do it in here. We can do it in here, by the way. We can put the callback function in this specific argument object. But what we're going to do is set a global callback function to affect all Ajax requests. It's convenient to do it like this. So this, on the document object, we set this Ajax, we call Ajax error, and we pass in this callback function. So whenever there is an Ajax error, then this callback function will run. And the function, when the function is invoked, it will be called with these arguments. And we simply use those arguments to display to the user. So let's see how that works. All right, so let's reload. And I hit get message. There it is, error not found, URL jQuery 2. So the error is that the request to web resource is not found. This is the URL that we are using. Let's check with Internet Explorer. Reload, get the new JavaScript, hit get message. There it is, not found jQuery 2, same thing. So that means we can go in here, modify, remove the mistake, and try again. Just another way of making it easier to hunt down errors. There we go, now it's good. And reload, and get the message, no problem. So that is, that covers the exercises 1 and 2. And now let's deploy the application. Oh, I did forget, but I on purpose, I'm forgetting on purpose that we didn't set the JDK compliance level, or the Java compiler compliance level, to 1.6. Let's go ahead and deploy. So I'm going to go up here and go into project properties, and in Google, let's look at the let's see, App Engine, and here's the application ID. It's going to be CSUSB DT- now this is my application ID. You should use a different one for yourself. What am I calling this? Oh yeah, jQuery. I need to create that first. I better go to the site and get that built. Let me go here. You know what? I'm going to go to my quick links. I think I have it in there. Quick links. And the GAE admin console. There it is. And these are the applications that I have. Let's create a new application. Here's the identifier. And the application title is the jQuery setup. Let's create the application. Good. Now I come into back to Eclipse. Let's go ahead and deploy. Oh, it says sign into Google. I'm not signed in. Let's see what happens. Nothing. I didn't see anything there. Let's, no version is deployed, it says. These are my applications. Nothing is deployed. So I think I need to sign into Google here. Let's see if that's the case. Looks like it's getting some trouble here. All right. And I think that's my password. Oops. Try that one. keep trying. Let me keep trying. Alright, that one works. Oh, I gotta do this. Alright, I had to get a passcode on my cell phone. There we go. Alright, now we're signed in. And I'm going to refresh this. I want to see, because we did submit a request to get deployed. And let's see if anything came through. Maybe it's still working. I think what we can do is try that again. So I'll right click and Google deploy to App Engine. There it is. Once again, we didn't change the compiler compliance level to 1.6, and there's been some issues around this. Some students are saying that they can deploy without changing the compliance level, but later on it stops working, so it's a bit inconsistent. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. How do I get to the? How do I look at the application? How can I actually open up the yeah, so this is one thing I find is inconvenient, is the URL. I can't just click on that and get there. Oh, I see, maybe it's over here. Let me try that. I haven't tried this yet. What happens if I open live version in a new window? Let me try that. There it is. I click on get message, internal server error, jQuery. Look at that. Internal server error. Great. We got the error there. That's what we wanted. So, and also I don't know how the how that works with the logging. Let's see if we can look at the and I've never done this, but I know that some of the students in the class are already starting to do this. Let's see if we can look at the logs. And here we have logs right there. And wow, that's hard to look at. Expand logs. Unsupported class version error. There it is right there. Unsupported class version error. That's exactly the mistake that we're looking for. I hit it twice, so there it comes up again. Alright, so let's fix that. We go back into here. Let's go into project properties and the Java build path. Sorry, Java compiler. Let's enable project specific settings here and set the level to 1.6. I'm going to hit OK. A rebuild is required. Fine, we can rebuild that. By the way, we don't need this running anymore. I'm just going to terminate that. And now let's redeploy. So go to Google and deploy to App Engine. And there's a lot of, it's interesting, it does this checking over time here, so not sure exactly what it's doing, but that looks good. All right, let's go back to the dashboard, and well, not the dashboard. I want to see my applications, and this one right here. I'll open that in a new tab. Let's get message. Hello world, it works. Great. we finished that. So that pretty much concludes this whole exercise. And there's a lot to learn there. You really need to dig into the documentation and read and do plenty of experiments. But that sums it up for this particular exercise.